From dreaming to dough, our family's path to Good Guys. A new chapter for Good Guys Pizza. The law of attraction in action as dreams unfold. A reflection on the journey. 2 years ago, if someone had told me our family would be preparing to take over a small hometown pizza shop, I would have smiled politely, assumed they were joking, and tucked it away as a future dream. And yet here we are. The journey towards becoming the new caretakers of Good Guys Pizza has been unfolding piece by piece in ways that feel both beautifully practical and a little bit magical. Over the past few years, I've spent a lot of time writing about dreams. Not the kind that visit us in the middle of the night, but the ones we carry quietly with us through life. The ones that sit patiently in the background while we work, raise families, learn lessons, and slowly become the person capable of bringing them to life. When I began writing about the universal laws, the idea that attention-shaped experience was mostly sharing reflections from my own life. Observations, stories, small shifts in awareness that seem to create meaningful change. I'm always surprised at how literally these lessons begin to show up. Recently, our family began the process of acquiring a small local pizza shop called Good Guys Pizza. It has been part of the community for over 20 years. And like many beloved small businesses, it carries with it something more than just a menu. It carries memories. Families picked up Friday night dinners. Teenagers got their first jobs behind the counter. Milestones were celebrated over pizza boxes and paper plates. And now, our family has the opportunity to become part of that story. The unexpected stepping stones. One of the things I've learned is that very few experiences in life are wasted. For the past couple of years, I've been working in a job that at the time simply felt like the next step I needed to take. It gave me stability, new knowledge, and something that I deeply appreciate. Time to observe and learn. Looking back, I can clearly see that this job was never just a job. It was a stepping stone. It introduced me to people who have helped expand our thinking. People who generously share knowledge, offer guidance, and bring experience to the table that goes beyond what our small family could do alone. In many ways, this chapter of my life has been teaching me something that doesn't always come naturally to me: how to ask for help. That simple shift has made a world of difference. Instead of trying to figure everything out ourselves, we've been able to build connections that's slowly forming a team. A group of people who bring wisdom, encouragement, and practical support as we step into something new. When I pause and look back over the last 2 years, I feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude for those connections. Each one arrived at exactly the right time, adding another piece to the puzzle. The strange and wonderful timing of life. When you begin noticing how life unfolds, you start to see something interesting. Big changes rarely arrive as one dramatic moment. They arrive as many small pieces slowly assembling themselves. A conversation here, a new opportunity there, a lesson that suddenly becomes useful later. Before long, you look around and realize the puzzle pieces have been quietly forming a picture. That is exactly what this experience has felt like. A family adventure. One of the things that makes this moment especially meaningful is it truly feels like a family project. My husband Robert and I have always believed in building things together. Over the years, we have renovated homes, worked on projects, raised our children, and learned many lessons along the way. Those experiences have created a kind of quiet confidence. We know that when new challenges appear, we can usually figure it out, especially when we work together. Now our children are grown and beginning their own paths, but the sense of teamwork in our family remains strong. Everyone brings different strengths and perspectives, and watching those pieces come together has been one of the most rewarding parts of this journey. This pizza shop may look like a simple business opportunity on paper, but to us, it represents something deeper. It represents building something meaningful together. The practical side of a dream. Of course, dreams don't run a business by themselves. There are permits to secure, health department forms to fill out, Bank meetings, inspections, training, suppliers, staff transitions, and more learning. Behind every exciting announcement is a long list of practical details. And honestly, I found something beautiful about that, because it reminds me that dreams are not separate from everyday life. They are built from it and through it. Every phone call, every form, every early morning conversation about how to do things. These are the quiet steps that transform an idea into reality. Magic, as it turns out, often looks a lot like consistent effort mixed with faith that things are unfolding the way that they should. Respecting what came before. One thing that matters deeply to us is honoring the history of this place. Good Guys Pizza has served the community for many years. The people who built it created something that clearly mattered to their customers, and we feel a strong sense of responsibility to respect that legacy. Our goal is to care for something that already works, while slowly adding our own touch over time. The same friendly faces will still be there. The familiar favorites will remain on the menu. But as time goes on, we hope to add small elements that reflect our values. Continued community, creativity, family, and maybe even a little bit of storytelling along the way. The unexpected connection. One of the most surprising parts of this experience has been realizing how naturally this chapter connects with the work I've been doing as an author. At first glance, writing books about awareness and universal laws might seem completely unrelated to running a pizza shop. But the truth is, they carry the same foundation. Both are about connection. A book connects ideas and people. A small business connects neighbors and families. Both create places where conversations happen, where stories are shared, and where community quietly grows together. In that sense, the pizza shop feels less like a detour and more like an extension of the journey I have already been on, just in a different form. Watching a dream assemble itself. As we move closer to finalizing the acquisition, I find myself pausing often to reflect on how remarkable this process has been. Not because it happened suddenly, but because it happened exactly the way life often does. One step at a time, one conversation at a time, one small moment of courage after another. Looking back, I can see how many pieces had to come together to make this happen. Lessons learned years ago, relationships built over time, ideas explored through writing and reflection. None of it was wasted. All of it seems to have been preparing us for this moment. A new chapter begins. Very soon, our family will officially step into the role of caretakers of Good Guys Pizza. There will be plenty to learn. There will be busy days and unexpected challenges. But there will also be laughter, new friendship, and the simple joy of watching a new chapter unfold. And perhaps that is the most beautiful part of it all. Because when you look closely, life has a way of weaving together the practical and the magical. A dream becomes a plan becomes a project, and before long, the project becomes a place where people come together. Sometimes all it takes is the willingness to say yes when the opportunity appears, and to trust that the next piece of the puzzle will arrive exactly when it's needed. The magic of dreaming. Like many families, we've tossed around lots of ideas over the years. What if we owned a small business someday? What kind of place would that be? One of those ideas that surfaced more than once was a pizza shop. Nothing too grand or complicated, just a warm, welcoming place that serves good food and becomes part of the rhythm of community. Maybe someday. But here's where life begins to get a little magical. Because the opportunity that appeared wasn't just any pizza shop. It was Good Guys Pizza. Right here in our hometown. A place that already has a history. A place that people already know and love. And somehow, just when our family has been quietly looking towards the next chapter of life, this possibility appeared right in front of us. If you're someone who pays attention to the little synchronicities in life, moments like this are hard to ignore. It feels like one of those moments when the universe gently says, "Here you go. Let's see what you do with this.